Yes, yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another next up special, people. For those that haven't seen the previous two before or know what the next up specials are, it's where we give content creators who are early in their journey their flowers, people. Not only give them their flowers while they can still smell them, but also find out about their introduction into the content creator space and their journey so far. So we find out about their full backstory. Of course, I did the original series and then with the GOATs and the Mount Rushmore candidates and the people who kicked down the doors. Then I did the second wave specials, which is the future Mount Rushmore candidates, the future GOAT. So the second people who joined, who like, that's why I called it the second wave, who was after the original crew. But it's also the reason why I started the next up specials as well is to give smaller content creators their flowers as well, because they're going into a very crowded market, an extremely crowded market. So to stand out with all this talent in the space, you have to give them their flowers, and that's what this is all about, people. So I did the one yesterday with Strasbourg Steve, kicked it off with Double A on Saturday as well, people. And this content creator I'm about to introduce, who's this special, thoroughly deserved first and foremost. I am fortunate to work with him every single week on the Yardman show, and to join that show and just fit in perfectly to balance the show out with the craziness and the madness from Lex and Kaneki and just typical Jamaican culture, but also bring the football inside of things as well. Because I was very skeptical of bringing a third Yardman into the show, people, because I was like, this shit is already a mazza as it is. I already have two absolute mavericks. And the way not only is he Maverick-esque, but then he can balance that with his tactical side of things and his hosting skills as well. And this is why you see him on his own channel doing big things. You see him working with Matisse on All You Could Eat. You see him on Carefree. You seen him on Carefree Lewis's channel. Seen him over here as well. See him in multiple different spaces, working with multiple different people. And again, another one who dispels the myth that international fans are not passionate or knowledgeable whatsoever, because he's not only knowledgeable about his football club, Chelsea, he can talk over Premier Leagues and he can break it down from an intellect. And I think that's overlooked because he's entertaining and he's funny and you can lean into the Yardman side of things. I don't think he gets his plaudits and his just dues for his actual knowledge of football. And again, tactical breakdown. I think he could do a tactical analysis show. I'll watch it. And I think it makes sense. Like when he's speaking about the game and speaking about certain things, I believe it's very, very clear. He makes it easy to digest what he's saying and just super entertaining. Let's not forget that. It's got the jokes down pat and entertaining. People love the Yardman show on here. People love him when he's on Matisse's channel. People love him when he's on his own channel. It's always laughs and jokes, and you need that. You absolutely need that, because just talking football can be boring. Can you be compelling? Can you be engaging? Can you be entertaining? And I think he ticks all the boxes above, and that's why it's very fitting that this series is called Next Up, because he's definitely one of the ones next up. I just mentioned there, he works with Matisse, who's one of the biggest Chelsea content creators in the game. Like I say, you see him work with Lewis, you see him work with the likes of Marshall, you see him working with others as well. So that's what this is all about, is him getting his plaudits, as well as finding out about his start and also his journey so far, and also future plans as well. So we got a welcome from the Final Whistle podcast. My like Javon is in the building. What are you telling me, Javon? You good?
Bless up, fellas. Thanks for having me on. Ready?
Of course, man. You know what I'm saying? It's only right, man, that give you your flowers, your plaudits, and I get you one, because you know how highly I rate you as a content creator as well, as many of us do, and that's why you've had the success you've had in a short space of time so far in this space. So yeah, man, of course, it was only right that I was gonna get you one. You lot, make sure you subscribe to the Final Whistle podcast as well. The link is in the title. The link's underneath in the description as well. But yeah, Javon, let's get to it, man. What I need you to do, jump in the time machine, go all the way back to the beginning. So starting off the Final Whistle podcast, and if there's anything before that that's relevant to your story in regards to your introduction into the space as well, anybody you watched, why you got into the space, etc., etc.
All right, so we're talking about the journey of the channel, not me as a football fan.
No. Yeah, you as a content creator, but if that ties in for you being a fan, you can talk about that as well. That's fine.
And no, so when it comes on to me being a football fan, that stems from the family, that stems from the roots, that stems from wanting to play football at being a professional football player. And for those who don't know, I grew up in Jamaica. You know, big up Shelly Road. You know, anyway that everyone said done. You know, yeah, and it's just it stems from me and my friends just loving the sport, fell in love with the sport due to the introduction of it from my parents, i.e., my father and my brother. You know, so and father's an Arsenal fan, brother's a Manchester United fan, right? So right there, there's animosity in the household on match days, you know, and then how I actually got into loving football. Yes, they would bring me to the football field to play. You know, as a young youth growing up in Jamaica, you'd stand in goal. You know, you stand in goal, and then you get introduced to the game. But actually, watching the game, I was always a Real Madrid fan because I got introduced to Spanish football. My father, my father, who was obsessed with Brazil, which is why I'm a Brazilian fan, you know, a fan of Brazil. He's obsessed with the Brazilian national team, and he could tell you about all the greats, Dunga, all of them. And he, at that time, my period where I got introduced to football was Ronaldinho in his peak. So balling out for Barcelona before he went to PSG, balling out. Rivaldo, Ronaldo, and I'm talking Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo before he transitioned
R9.
to Real Madrid. R9, yeah, Ronaldo before he went to Real Madrid. So yeah, that's where the football loving started for me. And one of my earliest memories was the 08 World Cup. Was it the 08 World Cup? No, it was the 06 World Cup.
06 World Cup would have been that. It would have been 06 World Cup. Yeah.
And I specifically remember my father was at work and he told me, he called the house and said, "Are you watching the game?" I said, "No, because I'm a kid at the time. I want to do shit." He said, "Stop whatever nonsense you're doing and turn the game on." Because it was Brazil. It was the Brazil beat France.
Yeah.
And they got popped off the park. They just got popped. Right? So, but because it's a love of the sport for the entire family, not just the national team, he did the same thing again in that Italian final. And I remember that last goal stood out to me, a stain in my brain as one of the first teams. So growing up in Jamaica, there was a portion of time where I grew up in the countryside, so we didn't have cable. So how I really got into football, like, you know, taking up as a mantle, wearing it on my chest, wearing it on my sleeve, can't live without it, can't breathe without it, will never give it up, was the 2014 World Cup. No, I've tracked football over the years, but growing up in the countryside, you don't really have cable, so you don't really watch the games unless you go to someone's house who had cable. So World Cup 2014, and I'll get into how my knowledge extends to back into the 90s, because, you know, once you fall in love with something, you don't just watch it for the current, you want to know the history. I'm the type of person that wants to know the history, the best matches and whatnot. No, how I really got stapled into it to kind of dissect the game, how I dissect it, and talk about the game, how I talk about it. That 2014 World Cup. Now, before you get to the 2014 World Cup, you had the Confederations Cup, where Brazil, where you had the new stars, the Fred, the Neymar, the Oscar.
Yeah.
So the 2014 World Cup, and me being grandfathered into the Brazilian national team. And this is Jamaica. I can't root for any other national team. It just is what it is. You can, the wholesale rules is you can pick your club team, but the national team, you just gotta pick Brazil. So yeah. So we're talking about the 2014 World Cup comes. I remember I was in high school, and at this time I'm addicted to football. It's the palate. It's similar like when you start getting a taste for girls. You know, I want more of that, you know. So for me,
the accuracy, you know
what I mean. You know,
that is so accurate,
right?
That is so. Once you discover girls as a male, like
I've done it, brother. It's over. You know, it's the same thing with me on football. So 2014 hits. I'm doing. I don't know when I say I'm watching this not as a fan, but like I was born for this. We're looking up stats from the season prior, because I remember I didn't have cable. So, but I when I go to school, I have internet. When I go to the library, I have internet. So I'm looking up stats. I'm looking up who's the best player. When they show some of the games on the TV channels that we would get access to for watching the games, right? So the World Cup happens, and I fell in love with one player. Can you guess who that player is?
But what year is this? Is this old?
The 2014 World Cup.
2014. Was it Neymar?
No. It was Oscar and Barber. And I'll tell you why in a minute.
Okay.
I did watch the 2010 World Cup, but
Mhm.
I didn't like Spain. Spain won that World Cup. It was a disaster. and the 2010 World Cup was the end of I think Maicon was the end of Ronaldinho. They brought him to the World Cup, but they didn't use him. If I'm not mistaken, Kaká was in the 2010 World Cup, but they were coming at the end of their career. So the 2014 World Cup was the new gen, the Oscars, the Neymar, the young Casemirs, the Fred, trash of a striker. But in the Confederations Cup, he did well. So that came and played a part. The way, because when I played as a child, and when I do play now, the position I play was midfield because I find it more intriguing. Goals are beautiful, but you see a pin cross, a pass that can split the defense, a pass that you can't see but they see, and you have a bird's eye view and they just have a pitch view. That's more beautiful to me. A sliding tackle, winning the ball back. The engine is more beautiful to me than end product. And of course, wingers that can beat your man for fun. So I always paid attention to midfielders. So Oscar Mbaba was the guy that stood out to me. Yes, Neymar was the superstar, but I'm looking at
that's why I said Neymar when you said the player. I was like, all right, Neymar, but go on, carry on.
Oscar was the one who supplied it. And at the time, Oscar was the next thing apart from Neymar. It was supposed to be him and Neymar and Fred, but for this trash. So it was supposed to be him and Neymar and Hulk at the time. So I was like, I'm really interested in this player. Neymar goes down. Guess who stepped up? Oscar stepped up, doing well until we faced Germany. Then it was Kalas, right? But Oscar, but guess who scored that one goal in the game? Oscar Mbaba. So the love for that kind of started. At that time, I always supported Real Madrid. When it came on to the Premier League, I was always on the side of Chelsea, but I wasn't invested and tied or tattooed to the club like how I am now. When I found out that Chelsea signed Oscar Mbaba, I was like, a match made in heaven. It's a perfect match. And that season we signed Hazard as well. And then I started to find out about club football. How I got deep into club football. For those who don't know, if you don't have cable, what the channel would do, what the TV stations will do, like you'd have TVM and TVJ. What would happen is the winner of the World Cup, we would show the league we'd get rights to show the league for that season. So the season after for the winner of the World Cup, Germany won. So that's how I got introduced to the Bundesliga. And that's how when it comes on to the Bundesliga, I can go toe-to-toe with anyone when it comes on to debates, greatest of all time. Because I got introduced to the Robin Ribéry era, the Mario Götze, the Papadopoulos, and the man, the enemy. You know? So, and I was a fan of that was the year Basta started to do his thing. I don't know if you know. That's a throwback name for people who don't know.
Did you just say Basta?
Yeah, Bastos when he played for Wolfsburg.
Yo, with these names is throwback,
bro. Jesus, and it was 2015 it was. I think it was the season after Kevin De Bruyne game. So that's how I found out about Kevin De Bruyne because he came from Chelsea to Wolfsburg, and I was watching Wolfsburg. I was a fan of Bastos at that time. Heung-min Son was in the Bundesliga. At that time, you had man like Son running the Bundesliga. Liam Bailey wasn't there yet. You had Son. Lewandowski was Lewandowski was at Dortmund. You had Mandzukic at Bayern, and the league was just firing on all cylinders. So I got introduced to club football. Obviously, Champions League is Champions League. You cannot escape Champions League. But because I got introduced to the Bundesliga, heavily influenced. First, as in, now when I say that, I meant like it's on me. It's not me and my father sitting down watching a La Liga game. It's not me and my brother sitting down watching a La Liga game. It's me just watching football. I don't want to watch. No, I'm at this point. If I'm not talking to a girl or playing FIFA, I'm watching football. That's my life. 3 things. We're studying. I don't know. We figure it out as go along. So at this point in time, I'm bathing in football. So I'm watching Serie A. I'm watching Bundesliga. I couldn't get to watch Premier League on day in day out, but I could go to watch those 2 things. And La Liga, I'm watching it. Got cable, La Liga. I don't miss a match. Could be Getafe versus Girona. I'm not missing a match. And then that's where the locked in, and that's when the Premier League, the love for the Premier League started to come along. And then I moved to the US. Once I moved to the US, I started to watch because obviously I have all the everything at my fingertips. So I started to lock in on Chelsea. Moved to the US. I watched we then. So after I moved to the US, I started to do my history and my research on Chelsea. So I started to go over the years that we won the leagues.
Okay.
I remember, and then a specific memory came into play when I was younger. I remember because again, my brother is a Manchester United fan.
Shout out your brother, man.
Yeah, man. Marlon. Anyway, we were sitting watching. I remember Jose Mourinho came in. Money took over the league. We won the league twice, we won the league twice on the track. So I was thinking at that time, yes, this blue team are gonna dominate. I just didn't want to pick what they picked, so I'm supporting Chelsea. But remember, in that period, Manchester United won the three-peated. Yeah. During those 3 seasons, it was neck and neck, and it was only 2 teams: Chelsea, Manchester United. Which is why when I say, for people who don't understand my hate for Manchester United, if Flawless was supposed to be 110% honest, we should have dominated that entire period because there were no other team. It was so the lineup was, and I think I tagged you on it. The lineup was Chelsea, Manchester United, then Chelsea 3 times after.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're some of those league seasons was close that we lost.
Close.
It should have been Chelsea 5 beaten, 6 beaten, and then we would have a whole different conversation. But what's victory without challenge, right? What's victory without challenge? So that being said, at the time I was going through college. So we fast forward, I'm in the US, I'm going through college, I'm doing my certifications, working the jobs. I finished college, so I had more free time. During this time, I'm playing football, right? I'm playing football.
And what year is this, by the way? When you finished college and everything, what year is this?
I want to say 2020, 2021.
Okay.
Yeah. So I finished college. So finish college, finish my studying. I'm playing football. I meet up with my brother Ryan. You met Ryan when you did the UCL night. And we were just there talking about football, and you're like, how are you so knowledgeable about football? Because at this time, we're not just talking about Premier League.
Yeah.
We're talking about Premier League, the Bundesliga, what transfers to make there. I'm calling transfers people. How are you so knowledgeable? Bro, I got to a point where any one of my friends, City fans, Arsenal fans, fellow Chelsea fans, United fans, Inter Milan fans, everyone's calling me, asking me my opinion on this and that third. And I said, you know what? I think I might start a podcast. But what really heavily influenced it is there's a show on ESPN called ESPN FC with Dan, Ali Moreno, Stephen Nicol, the legend, and so on so forth. Frank LeBeouf and Craig Burley. So Frank LeBeouf,
Craig Burley's over on it because he's still on ESPN. Now Craig Burley, he is cutthroat Craig Burley with his opinions. Jeez.
Yes, so exactly. So there's Craig Burley and Frank LeBeouf who played for Chelsea, and just listening to them and seeing how they dissect the game, and I'm like, no, you guys are being too harsh here, and I'm dissecting the game, and this is me just watching interesting content and having a bit of back and forth with myself. My girlfriend at the time was that you realize they can't hear you, right? I'm like, it doesn't matter, they're talking nonsense, you know. And again, I'm not fully ingested in the Twitter space, but I would see certain things on Twitter, and then I'm like, you know what? For the fun of it, I'm gonna start a podcast. This was 3 or 4 years ago. The Final Whistle podcast was supposed to be strictly audio based. So you got a mic. I got a mic. I didn't have the camera at the time, so I got a mic. I load up Riverside because I use Riverside, and we just. I remember I spent. Oh, shout out to Javier. He's an Arsenal fan, and him and I. We one of my friends added both of us to our football group chat, big group chat, and we would go back and forth. And I'm telling you, Flawless, these people are knowledgeable. Like they make you think about the game, right? Javier and I, we were finishing up our study because he's an archaeologist in Jamaica. So we said, I texted him separately. I said, yo, would you be willing to start a podcast? And he said, podcast about what? Said, about football, of course. What else? He said, oh, you mean run it, right? So within a space of a week, we're setting up. I'm getting nervous. I'm testing. I actually I have the original mic here that I started with. It's a little, it's a little monument. And the Champions League ball, because we started this the year after I won after Chelsea won the Champions League 2021. Right. So I still have the momentum. So we started the podcast. It was strictly audio based, and we started it with Javier, Ryan, and another Chelsea fan by the name of Andrew. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to all the boys who helped me kick the channel off the ground. Within the space.
Before you carry on, just hold that thought. So the only thing you had watched was the ESPN FC show on ESPN. There was you hadn't seen
nobody else
in the content creator space. Nobody
else.
Because you talk about football so much, and your girl at the time was like, they can't hear you. Was like, all right, let's run it. So you've gone into your group chat and said, let's start this podcast. Everyone's on it. You got the microphone. You still got it to this day. Audio, go and carry on. And what year is this, by the way? What year is this?
2021, because it's right after we started the Champions League. Because I'm telling you, like, we would leave. So in the US, you have things called pickup soccer. So we go to pick up soccer, play games, and we're talking about the game after. And I'm sitting here, and there's people around me just talking to me about the game, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of weird. But I'm not. We're just talking about football, I'm being myself. I link Javier and say, yo, podcast. Javier say yes, because Javier and I would go back and forth in the group, and not necessarily arguing, but we would test our knowledge. So like, oh, do you know players from this? I'm like, of course I know this player, right? Do you know players from? Because he found out he knew about Julian Alvarez before anyone did.
Got it.
Right? So I'm gonna give him his props. When you talk about Enzo Fernandez, like I'm talking River Plate days. And that's how I know them at that extent, because we go back and forth about people that we, and it's not about we found. I thought he'd learn them off of playing Football Manager, but that's not the case. He just loved the games. He just loved the games like I did. So when I'm watching Syria, this man watching Brazilian football. I'm like, bro, don't you have a life? Watch the popular leagues. So I know about like Igor Paxel, who's doing well at Marseille right now. I still keep up with the game to a broad level. Like now I kind of just focus more on Chelsea for obvious reasons. So we go back and forth and we test our knowledge. So then we decided to, you know what? Let's talk about this on a podcast. So one night before pre-production, we're brainstorming. And again, this is people, if you're going to start a podcast, please do your due diligence and your research, because I'm doing this for the love of it. And you can still see the excitement right now. I'm just doing this for the love of it. Right? I'm doing this because we get to talk about football. We get to converse with different people. You get to understand how people view the game, and you get to understand how the game affects different people from different walks of life. Right? So I'm like, you know what? It's football. I'm a coach. Oh, another thing, people. I coach the game as well. So I play, I coach, and I'm a podcast. When I say this is literally my world, I'm not kidding. We do this for real, right? So I'm saying, you know what? We're going to call it the Final Usa Podcast. I'm saying, yeah, that's a good name. People, do your due diligence and do your research. It was after the fact that I realized there's a bunch of other sports podcasts by the name of Final Usa. But I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this because I want to, and this is the name I chose, right? We're going to get into why. I want to change that. So, the Final Whistle Podcast, I remember I was there for weeks trying to figure out the graphic. I had a friend that's a graphic designer, because again, my personal job, I'm in IT. My personal life, I do IT, the corporate IT and whatnot. You're not gonna get that football talk about. So I hit up one of my friends who's a graphic designer. I say, hey, can you make a podcast logo for me? And he responds, he's a Chelsea fan as well. Big up, Jason. He said, it's about football, isn't it? And I said, yes. I got you, bro. Say less. So build the graphics. I build the intro, and I just pull down one of the audios from YouTube that you can use publicly. And boom, we have a show. So we start. I remember the first episode, we spoke about everything Champions League, because that would give us the base to speak about multiple clubs, because literally, who are these people? No one knows these people. They're just here to talk about football. Flawless. Within, I think, let me pull it, because I don't want to tell a lie. Within I want to say a span of 6 months, we were the top rated audio podcast, like in the top 30
Jeez.
for US, just audio. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's
bro,
still
we are
major.
random people, right? We are random people.
So wait, so you are putting this out audio only, and is it just
Strictly
how
audio.
many is it a week? Is it one a week? Is it
One a
multiple a week? So you're
One
putting
a
out
week.
one a week
Not
audio
more than a
only,
week.
and what platforms it going onto? What are you putting it on?
At this point, so if you upload it to, if you had at that, well, still now, if you upload it to RSS, Apple Podcasts,
So you
Spotify,
got the RSS feed, so you was
yeah,
going out to elsewhere. Okay, so it's
multiple.
going out to all
So
the major
yeah,
audio podcast.
audio podcast, correct.
Yeah, got it.
So we uploaded there, and within the first, we're top 30, and then in Jamaica we were top 10, if not top
Yeah.
5. Yeah, and bro, when I tell you, I was ecstatic. We didn't have much followers on Instagram. We just made an Instagram page, and at the time, we were just talking about football. So it's two Arsenal fans versus two Chelsea fans. But you would never know until the Arsenal Chelsea segment came along, or until we're dissecting the league table, because everyone's like, oh, because everyone would watch these games intimately. Like we wouldn't watch these games as fans. It got to a point where we were watching the games because we knew we had a show coming up.
Yeah.
So if the show was Monday or Tuesday, you have people Sunday evening rewatching Bundesliga games. Saturday night rewatching Syria games. We were just going in on watching the games, consuming content, and then everyone ball knowledge expanded. So much so where our show, we got invited onto another audio podcast. It's called Two Guys and a Lesson or something like that. I forgot. They were also based in England. And I remember one of the questions on the show, because the channel, the little audit, it took off. I'm seeing at times where we're competing with ESPN, because I don't know if you noticed, they have their audio show on Apple Podcast.
Put it out in audio only form.
Yes. I'm seeing on other people's phone when they're talking like Finals Podcast, and again, you have multiple finals, so we skyrocketed to the top. And when you look at the categories for soccer, we're competing with, and I'm like, little old me, we're just here for the fun. I'm just here for the fun, bro. You understand? So that happened. We got called to the show, and one of the questions were, how do you guys consume so much footballing content? And so, because obviously Javier and I, we're the hosts, we're the originators. We looked at each other on camera, of course. We're like, we don't know. We just watch the football, ingest the content, and these are things that come natural to us. Much like there's a lot of times where, and we've said this to Lex privately, not everyone is going to understand how we understand, and we cannot explain how we understand. We just understand the content, and that led to the next. So we did that for a year. It went well for a year. Javier got busy because again he finished school and he took on more responsibility for the government of Jamaica. And, hey, brother, do you think I'm not paid? We're not getting paid from this. We're just doing this for the fun.
Yeah, sponsoring you lot to talk football, a space to talk football. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, and at the time I didn't know there was a whole space of content creators out here. I didn't know that there was people could get paid from this. I didn't know that there's a whole hierarchy of football content creators. I'm just doing this for the fun. I'm doing this because I like when I go on RSS feed, my voice is usually somewhere in the Netherlands. I like when I'm looking at my statistics, majority of my listeners are from Kazakhstan, England, Germany. Brother, you know what it's like? And again, I'm countryside, I go from the country. I'm nobody, bro. I'm just here. So seeing, and I'm talking to hundreds of people. We have a post on my page where within 6 months or to a year, we had over 1,000 listeners from different areas, from Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, France, Kazakhstan, and I'm like, niggas from Spain can understand me. And it's not like Oh, they clicked on it by accident because you can actually see the listen time.
Yeah,
Over
because
20,
football is universal. Well,
bro.
watch. Mhm.
It was mind blowing. So some of the guys had a bit of inconsistency, and I played a part in that as well. But it's more so life took over, and
Fair.
I had more free time to continue. And then I said I wanted, so we took I want to say a 2 month break, and I said I want to keep this going because I just like talking about football.
Right.
At that time, I was like, I don't know if someone said, "Oh, why don't you go to YouTube?" I don't remember who it is, so I'm not going to falsely credit someone. And
Mm.
I said, "What do you
Before
mean
you carry
YouTube?"
on, so how far away? So from the start up until the point where people became, you've had the success, you've had listeners everywhere. Obviously, went on the other podcast as well, and is booming. Up until the break, how long was that? So you started 2021, and then when did the actual like 2 month break happen? You remember
So
roughly
the
what year it was?
so the season went by. We did the
Mhm.
transfer window.
Mhm.
It was upon the start of the next season, and we didn't. I think we didn't record
Oh,
until
2022.
November again. So
Okay.
2022,
Mm.
we're rocking. Um, I was there. Was moving along. We jumped on again. We started to do YouTube because if you can, I think if you
Yeah,
go
because you said
real,
that. All right. So someone suggested you, because I did cut you off. So I just wanted to get the timeline, like some clarity in regards to the timeline. So someone suggested YouTube to you. Was you skeptical of that? Or you was like, all right, let's go on YouTube?
extremely skeptical about going on YouTube
Well, why was
because
you skeptical about it?
honestly, coming from a space and because I think it really stems from my growing up. My mother said, "Oh, though that you have a phone when I was younger, of course. Don't put anything on YouTube. Don't let me see you do a thing on YouTube." And it kind of like stuck, and and I'm
Mhm.
more of a private guy when it comes down to the personal life.
Mhm.
So one, I had to get used to showing my face on camera. Two, because we did start out with not
But
showing our
wait,
face on
but
camera.
when you've gone to YouTube, was you audio only, or was you like, all right, we need to become visual?
Yeah, so we were audio only strictly, and then
Yeah.
we said, "Yo, we need to become visual." But when we transferred to YouTube
Mm.
initially, because I just remember this, I just put up like the same of us speaking and just an image of saying the final whistle podcast, right?
Okay.
And then after that, I said, actually, so it was that. And then I had one of my other graphic designers draw up something like, so we would send them the photos, and he'd just make us the cartoon version of ourselves. And we're just
Got it.
there. And me being
Yeah.
the tech guy, I was working on the animation to kind of how to make
Mhm.
them talk while we were saying certain things.
Oh, I love
Right.
that.
Right. So I was working on that.
Mm.
And I so enter the content creation YouTube space. So DR back again. Big 6 months.
Okay.
Lewis,
Mm.
Matisse, all you can eat Chelsea. And all of that. So it started with Big Six, Chelsea fan. So I'm a fan of Robbie because he's Jamaican, Matisse because he's Jamaican, Flex just because I like how he speaks about Manchester
Mhm.
United. I mean, I'm a fan of the whole lot, but because of Matisse, Chelsea fan, I'm going to take Injustice content. Go on his page, he's big. So,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Matisse
all you can
is.
eat Chelsea.
So you've gone to so it's like, all right, YouTube space. So someone suggested to you, all right, go onto YouTube. You've decided to go onto YouTube, and then that's your discovery of the content creator space.
Yes, like,
Right,
so I
cool.
was
Like
like,
you said,
oh, this
back
is a
again.
thing.
Dia
Yeah,
Sports,
yeah,
Lewis, Matisse, go on, carry on, carry
yeah,
on. So you're obviously gravitating towards Chelsea fans, Matisse, go on, carry on, carry
yeah.
on.
So I'm like, I didn't know this was a thing. But Matisse at the time we were speaking was so much of him because at that time we're finishing 12th. And the entire world is cloning us. Rightly so. So I'm going in, right? And before I get to all of that, so I'm
Yeah.
like, boys, from what I see, we're gonna have to go on camera. So I went out bought a nice Canon camera. Boys got their camera. Boy, who's using webcam from who actually got a camera? I got a camera. I'm ready. We're locked in. We started putting out videos, starting, 1 or 2 likes, not really
Yeah.
pushing it out there. At that time I used to pay for promotion. Because you can pay for promotion on YouTube just to get your content out there.
Oh,
But
yeah, you can do that. I know it's more so Instagram is like that as well, where you
yeah,
can
yeah,
like pay for it to boost it. Oh, carry on.
yeah. I wasn't really getting any I wasn't getting any traction. Like I would get views, but no really subscribers. And I'm like, I need a way to get my content out there because I think maybe because my mindset is this: you either like it or you don't. You know, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give this a fair try. Drive this until the wheel falls off, and if I make it, I make it. If I don't make it, I had a great time doing it, and I met some good people.
Well,
So, let me take out. I met some good people with that part because I didn't think I would meet anybody else. I thought it would be me and the boys
and your clique.
Yeah. And then if people gravitate, they gravitate to it.
Mhm.
But again, fell into another lull period where the boys got busy, and
got it.
but we would still record every now and then, but it wasn't consistent because the boys got busy. Matisse at the time, and at that time, I'm ingesting content because I started to work from home. While I'm at work, doing what I do, Matisse is in the background, Miz is in the background, Younes is in the background. Big up Younes, by the way, that's my guy. Miz as well, the other boys, and then I'm there typing away, and in comes playback. You know, so playback comes into the picture.
Got you.
And for those who don't know, playback is a platform where you can have one-on-one conversation. They can bring it to the stage. And at this time, Chelsea was in absolute turmoil. When I tell you, bro, we would have playbacks where I would close up the playback in prayer. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. So, and now that we're talking about playback, big up Benji, big up Benji, big up Pels, big up Kuba, and big up Feroz, right? That's the playback. That's the playback panel. But in Matisse's thing, Matisse got over to playback one day after one of his lives. And you know what? He said, you know what? I'm gonna shoot straight from the hip. I'm saying maybe Matisse could give me a platform here. But I wasn't looking at it like to say, oh, I'm gonna use this guy to get a platform. I'm just going over there because I'm mad, right?
Yeah, you might use it for the top Chelsea because you've been bad and you're like, hey, you want playback. Yeah.
Pochettino was doing nonsense. We were 12. What are you talking about? No, Potter had us 12, and then Pochettino came in. So it was a Pochettino. Ooh, I'm getting this again. So it was a Pochettino season, right? So Pochettino's in charge of Chelsea. Matisse is running the playback. We go over there to the playback. Matisse brings people to stage. It's a yelling match. And then when my man comes on, I'm like, people, calm down. We can't keep yelling at people. The main culprit here is Pochettino. Calm down.
People are just yelling at people on the play. Shout out to Playback, because Playback's a good platform as well. Playback's a good platform.
Yeah, so because what would happen is we would go back and forth with people with different decisions. But what I slowly started to realize is,
go on.
I'm talking, people are listening. I'm saying things, people are, I'm talking, people are saying, you know what? I'm talking with Vim, you know what? So we were, I remember
Charlotte in the chat. Before you carry on, big up to everyone in the chat as well, Jez. I see you, Charlotte, Ed, everybody else, man. Salute to everyone in the chat. Run up the likes, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to the Final Whistle podcast. Links in the title. Go on. This is good. So you're on playback. You're talking and you're clocking on that. Hey, people are listening to what I'm saying. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, right. And I remember this one. Debate. Big up Benji. Anyway, Benji is, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna watch it. I remember this one episode. We were saying, when I told you I lost it because someone said give Pochettino time. And I tell you, I am furious. And yes, it was the last. We lost because this season we finished 6th. And we were saying we could have made
top 4,
top 5 because we could have made Champions League football or European football. I said wherever we finish, we deserve. Matisse combated and said, "Oh, I don't want to play Europa Conference League football." But I said, this is not based on the last 2 games we slipped up. This is based on the collective poor performance of the season. So whatever we get, we have to take. Unfortunately, if it's up to me, we win the league and we finish and we play Champions League football. But again, the team cannot come last minute and want to try and pull off a hurrah. That doesn't how it works. When you don't have the faith in your own hand, when you have to depend on other people to help you get a certain milestone, 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna get that milestone. you know. So I
Yeah.
said that, and I lost it after the Nottingham Forest loss because I was saying there's no way I could sit here eating bread and chicken and know how to handle this team better than better than a manager getting paid millions, bro. The entire playback stream went silent. I went on a rant, right? I was done, bro. So that happened. The playback went well, and I was like, you know what? I said, let me message Matisse. So at the end of it, I was praying. We do the prayer.
They took turn doing prayers, couldn't end one without one. That's mad. That
well, it was me and Benji every day. Me and Benji. So I remember I was saying, Matisse. So at the end of the prayer, I'm gonna say, Matisse, can I message you on Instagram after I just have a couple questions? I messaged Matisse and I was asking him about the content creation space. I told him I had a channel and if he had any tips, he said, "Don't worry, brother. I'm gonna give you a shot, bro." To this day, I have no idea what that man saw in me in terms of speaking about football and things about content creation. This man said, "I'm gonna give you a all you can eat." Just me say, "What? What? Man, talk about Chris. Stop! Don't lie to me. Stop lying to me." I said, "What?" And he's like, "Nah, bro. Let me talk with the boys." And we'll get you because I'm looking to expand the show with another panelist. Lie, I tell. Anyway, but you have to understand, you know, from someone who started this just for the pure love of football, to then, hey, kind of expand your thing to expand your reach more, you have to go to YouTube. To then going to YouTube, no traction, and then finding out that there's a content creator space. And you're just ingesting all this content. Because I'm a fan of the game and I'm a fan of the people that know the game. Whether our opinions agree, whether our opinions clash. So I'm seeing Matisse as this. And then I'm seeing Younes because you're looking at the subscribers. I'm seeing Miz and I'm seeing Baba, and I'm like, if I ever get here, I'm eternally grateful. But I'm gonna just enjoy and do my little thing because I'm doing the groundwork. You know what I mean? The office is closed. I'm the janitor that comes in sweet. So I'm just that, in every office, there's this janitor that's forever happy just to be there. I'm that guy. Or I'm the guy that staples the papers with the tie, happy to be there. He said, I'm gonna give you a shot at all you can eat Chelsea. I'm like, brother man. Don't lie to me. So he's like, what do you mean? So I'm like, what time does the show go? If that's the case, because to this day, I still think he's lying. I'm on the show, people. I still think
he's not all you can eat Chelsea with Matisse. Shout out to Matisse every single time. Yeah. 100%.
Matisse said to me, it's at 10 a.m. UK time, and I know it's early there. Granted, I'm a gym goer, so sometimes I go to the gym early in the morning, sometimes I go at night. So waking up 4:30 to get to go on the show, nothing for me, right? But that light, bro. And bro, this man said, lock in, this is the date. I spoke with the boys, boom. He didn't add me to the all can eat group chat immediately. He just said, let me talk with the boys. The boys said, yeah, come through. I said, bro, so the night before, could I sleep? Could I sleep? When your school is having like a party or something the next day, and you take out the clothes you're gonna wear, and you sleep beside it. Could I sleep, brother? I had a blue shirt ready, blue lights ready.
That was
could
ready.
I sleep? Could I sleep? I literally got no sleep. Every minute I kept checking. This is me on my phone.
Yeah.
Right. So the time come 4 o'clock. Got up 4 o'clock. I took a shower again. I took a shower. Ready, do again. I'm gonna go to work because I didn't get a haircut. Right?
Yeah.
Lights, camera. At that time, I had this mic. Right? Because I told you I have the original mic. So at that time, I had this mic. I had this camera, but I didn't have the setup for what you can see me now. So I was like this on the show. I met Younes. So Younes like, oh, what's up, big up brother? I couldn't speak to Younes. I could not say a word to Younes. I could not say a word.
Like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm on the show with these men.
Bro, I could not say a word to Younes. I saw Miz. At that time, I thought Miz was mean because Miz takes was more so like at the time we were so, because we're in parallel at that time. We're in turmoil. So at that time, Miz Miss came across as an angry father, right?
Mm.
Miss came off as an angry father. So didn't say anything to Miss. And Baba was the nice dude from there. So I was like, hi Baba. Baba said, what's up, brother? You good? And then obviously Matisse came in and Matisse introduced me. I could not say a word to anybody. So I was like this. I was like this. I was like this. Hi, brother. How you are? Right? Because at that time, you could only see half my face. He's like, Javon, I'm about to start the show, yeah?
Yeah.
And then the show starts. No introduction, nothing. Right? No introduction, nothing. This man just starts the show and he's going to everybody and then he introduced me. You know what it's like when you're on those hectic shows. The comment section, bro, at that time, we're in Claremont. So if we live 10, 15K people live, comment section, bro, comment section, people. What, bro? I'm like, okay, maybe I can slide under the radar, whatever. Someone said, Bud Potch, Bud the sporting directors, and Bud whoever that brother is in the side. Who's that hiding behind the mic, brother? One man highlighted me. You see, after that one man, another one. Yeah, who's that? Bud, but the entire comment, and I'm like, what did I get myself into?
Yeah.
There's a few people from the playback that say, oh, shout out Javon. Shout out, we got you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the first episode, I did my thing. I said, you know what, lock in. We just here to talk about football. We're gonna talk about football. So we spoke about football. Show was good. After the show, I got respect from Younes, Miz, Baba. I'm like, cool. At this time, again, and I'm gonna take you through my journey. I didn't know that playback space, you don't bring the same energy to the all you can eat Chelsea space. The people that would have crucified me, they brought on, because at this point, it's a new, so I had a few shows, but at this point, it was the Madiweke debate. Because remember, I was heavily tied towards the Madiweke thing in the Chelsea base. Because I'm like, as I'm saying, guy's young, played half a season, give him some time, he can dribble. And at the very least, when you have a player that can dribble, you have to give him some time to see if his end product. Brother, I've never seen 15,000 people on a live roast me. Brother, tell us about what do this. Yeah, man, I'm done. Bro, I'm like, I'm done. What? Bro, the comment section just go off. I remember in one of those episodes, he brought on Robert. Shout out to Robert. Robert, I'm done, Robert's my guy. No, but initially, he brought on Robert. And Robert and I went at it. I'm not live on all you can eat us, and I was yelling. And then I'm seeing the comment section, and it's like, who is this guy? Kick him off the show. Why'd you bring him on the show? This, that, and the shirt. And, we're football hard for me. I feel how I'm not lie. Feel some type of way. I go to Matisse. I'm like, but yo, bro, I don't think this thing is for me, man. Man said, nah, man, you can't pay attention to the comment section. Man said the same thing. Younes said the same thing. Yo, them people, bro, forever grateful. I yelled at Robert. Talked to Robert on Twitter. Feroz created a playback. That's how Robert and I got close. Me and Benji got close. Shout out to Benji wherever he is. And so I'm going back and forth with the people on Matisse's channel. Because I'm not understanding that. Yo, comments are comments. Everybody has their opinion. Stop diverting the comment and focus on the conversation. Bro. Brother, I lost it. So it got to a stage where I started to understand the game because I started to ingest more content. I started to see how people handle negative comments, borderline abuse at times. And I realized that, you know what, I just part of the game. Matisse created another show called Chelsea Breakdown. Now that show was fun. We gotta bring that back. Where after every game, that's where I met Alex. And again, I'm meeting more people, bro. I'm meeting more people. That's where I met Alex and Topes. And these people are joy. And that's where I met Dan too. Because I remember at that time, I started to run a special for my channel, I would call it One-on-One with Javon. So
Mhm.
through One-on-One with Javon, I got a better understanding of how Younes got started, Baba got started, Miz got started, Matisse himself got started. And I'm like, Goonie, once
Okay,
what
you got Goonies.
that first show with Goonie popped out, bro. Ever since then, Goonie, I'm a dogs, bro. Ever since
Shout out
then,
Goonie every
Goonie,
time. Yeah.
shout out Goonie. Because Goonie could have said, yo, I don't do this content creation thing anymore.
Mm.
And not, but he gave me a strength, he came. I met Don. To this day, I still haven't done a show with Don, but that's my guy as well. But Lewis, I think everything changed once I met. Everything changed in terms of more understanding the game more and having a bit more maturity in the space once I met Lewis. Lewis, care for you, Lewis. Anywhere you there, big up my guy.
Shout out
Big
Carefree
up,
Lewis.
big up, big up. I went on Lewis's. Lewis, I don't know if you ever been. Yeah, you have been down there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Lewis is that's my G. Like Lewis, shout out Carefree Lewis G every single time. So before you carry on, let's just get the timeline straight. So how long after debuting on All You Can Eat Chelsea and being a permanent fixture on there, you've then the new show that Matisse has created. Then you've met the likes of Goonie, Goonie, Dunn, you've met on there as well. Also, Lewis. How far away was that? Was it a few months after? Was it a year after?
So this was last season. No. Yeah, so this was last season, the first season on the Maresca. So that started at the end of the Pochettino season.
Okay.
That started at the end of the Pochettino season. Then we went to the transfer window because I was All You Can Eat Chelsea last transfer window. Because I was saying, because I did a whole tactical breakdown on how Maresca could transform the side, and so said, so done. And I was the one to give Maresca 10 games. Everyone thought I was crazy, but the 10 games paid out in my favor. That's how the breakdown started, because we started winning games. And that's where that's first time I started to come with chest, because I'm like, listen, Manchester United getting roasted. And that's in that same season, that's where I met Monts. Because Monts invited me over on a preview. Again, I don't know what these people see in me to invite me on the channel, but hey.
It's a skill thing, man. Matisse, Younes, Lewis. But yeah, go on, carry on. So you said you met Lewis. So what was that like? Because you had watched, Lewis was one of the ones you had watched beforehand. So
man.
Linking up with him. Talk about it.
I would ingest this content. Lewis, I'm a dogs, bro. So I was like, you know what? Let me reach out, because you know what? I'm All You Can Eat Chelsea, the biggest Chelsea talk show that there is out there. So you know what? A man must know me. They must know me by now, right? So reach out to Lewis. Before I actually got an interview from Lewis invited me onto this channel. I went on Lewis's channel, bro. It was good. Lewis kind of protected me from the craziness initially. It's the next 2 times. Madness, brother. Madness.
It's organized chaos over there, man. It's organized chaos over there on Lewis's channel. Shout out Lewis every single time.
And over there, I met some cool people like Scott.
Scott.
I'm there and I'm like, so this is the difference between Lewis's Carefree Lewis and All You Can Eat Chelsea. There's a bit of a, difference in decorum. And not a disrespect to one of it. Just one tolerates certain things and the other one don't. So that's why I said everything changed, because he kind of taught me how to navigate certain spaces with this whole content creation thing. So then transition. At this point, I'm getting into a groove. I'm bopping. And again, so I became a fan of you, Flawless, because I'm still watching. Remember, back again. Lewis is on back again.
Yes.
Months. You. And them say, Flawless. They hate Manchester United. But the way this brother delivers the thing is funny, very calm, and I'm going to match at fuckery. Sometimes it's just nice to hear the fuckery. So they're going to subscribe.
Love for that. Appreciate it.
So they're going to subscribe. And And I remember we were doing a Liverpool preview. And I said, so weird. No. Before the Liverpool. Yeah, before. I said, so weird. If I'm remembering this correctly, Lewis invited me on the preview, because I was going through a little rough patch in my life at the time. So I had more free time. Lewis invited me on the preview. I'm like, me? Liverpool preview? Bro, I'm not even doing match reviews at this point. you know,
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
started,
yeah.
you know, I'm just trying to, so I'm doing the match preview with, I think Rams and Mons. And
Mhm.
I don't know what, shout out to Mons again, because it's the only time I've worked with him twice on his channel and Louis' channel.
Yeah.
I don't know what this man saw, but they said, yo, Javon, can I shout you for a preview? Yeah. We're doing the preview, and we're talking about the game. And I remember this so distinctly. I remember Madueke at the time, because again, there was a whole Madueke and Javon stigma. I said,
Go.
so me I said, man, you go and look, because when Madueke run down by your heads, man said, Madueke, loud that big man. What's it?
Yeah.
Madueke, and then we had a preview. So I'm there buffing. Remember one Saturday night, me not going away. Me go on my YouTube. And me see one big old dirty Jamaica flag in the background. Right? I'm not so yet. Literally, I'm like, wait, hold on. Yardman show. So me say Yardman show. So me go on the I see Lex and Kineki I do them thing. Immediately. And I show them the Yardman show, I'm gonna depend this.
I remember the comment.
Yo, people thought it was a bot. Yeah, me say, yo, me need for the on this. No,
I remember you commenting. I do remember that. I remember that comment vividly. Yeah.
Your response was like, you're not on the show because I don't know you. Me say, no need for know the bad man.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, I don't know you, like,
bro.
You are you. That's what I was saying.
And looking back at it now, it's kind of crazy because I was moving. I'm like, you no need for know the bad man. Does no say medium to learn from all you can eat. I mean, need for there. It doesn't mean you need a Chelsea fan, bro. I was there laughing, and I don't know why, but you said, I remember you said, let me shout the boys. Let me see what's going on.
Yeah.
Then we'll get you on. The next Saturday come, I'm gonna dip on it. In that comment section, Mr. Flawless, yeah, joke what thing in a bad man. I say, bro, in that comment section, you know. So until later the next, you link me, and
yeah, because both Matisse and Louis vouch for you. That's why. Both of those two. If you didn't know, I don't think I've ever told you this. You lot find out.
No.
Both of them. I think both of them vouch for you. Matisse was like, "Yo, man's cold, get him on." Obviously, not in those words and paraphrasing, but and Louis said the same thing. And obviously, Louis and Matisse, not only two people who helped put me on, two people I rate highly. So I was like, from when them two vouched for you and co-signed you, I said, all right, cool. It was them two. It was Matisse.
You never told me that.
Go watch. I think that's what it is. I didn't even go watch. As soon as them two said it, I was like, all right, cool. I trust their opinion enough. So then that's when I reached out to you and patterned it and got it sorted.
Yeah. So so him say, yo, because Flawless is trying to play that. Oh, boys, I'm just gonna bring you. Just send the link separately. Just gonna play that. So I say, Flawless, may I audition? No, you're not really auditioning. I say, Flawless, stop your fuck with me audition. And see, after that, I think that was the highest rated show. You had that the night I debuted.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. That show was 8-1, man. That show was 8-1.
The night I debuted on the Yardman show, we laughed till we weak. I remember Lex take a break and say, Flawless, I don't know what prompted you to go get another Yardman for this show, but I don't know. You know, so that
I knew instantly within 5 minutes, I was like, oh, this is a permanent fit. Obviously, I didn't say it because we're not on air, but as soon as you was on and the chemistry just clicked, it was straight away type of thing. Because I was skeptical. The reason why I was skeptical of bringing on a third Yardman is because of what Lex said. Because it's already crazy enough with them two. And adding in another one is even more uncontrollable chaos that is super entertaining. Similar to how Lewis's streams are. But like I said at the start, you add that, but you also add a more calming influence as well to the show. Whereas Lex and Kaneki, madmen. You know what I'm saying? And that them man just crazy. Them man on 110 at all times, man. There's no turn down switch. Them man are here constantly from the start of the stream to the end of the stream here, no matter what they talking about. But yeah, go on, carry on.
Yeah, because even in my whole debut there, I get the hate for Arsenal. Again, my father's an Arsenal fan. One of my best friends are Arsenal. The one that helped me start the show is an Arsenal fan, and one of my best friends are Arsenal fan. So I get questioning on Arsenal. But I'm like, yo, It's a Premier League show. I could talk about some other club. The man, and to this day, they might try silence me, and I will not be silenced. We have to talk about football. We can't just come here with foolishness, bro. We gotta talk about football, right? So I think at times, even in that first season where I kind of debuted on the Yardman show, the at times I'd see they wanna go, and I'm like, yeah, but the football said this, and then what I notice like Lex and Kinnicky, them really start honing on the football talk. So they may not want to admit it, but hey, the Javon effect is that.
That's a part of your skill set and why you're a great fit for that show. Because you might are all very, very similar, but then different as well. So that's why it's the show I taught the least.
Yeah. It's
the show I taught the least, Joe. Like, I intro the show. Occasionally, I interject, or one of you might ask me a question to go, hey, Flo, what do you think of such and such? But outside of that, that's you three. You know what I'm saying? Let's make sure we kind of stay on some form of course with that show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real. Yeah,
show's entertaining, hilarious, man. Tears in my eyes every single time.
Yeah, it's every
Tears
time.
in my eyes every time, man. That shows ain't one it is. And like I say, you were a major part of that as well. Oh yeah, go on, carry on.
Yeah, and then that kind of wrapped up everything. I'm like, so I remember it's crazy. The other day I was sitting down and I'm like, in this content creation space, almost everyone that I've watched religiously, I've had some form of interaction with already. The only person that I haven't had that interaction with are like Troops, Expression. Would love to go back and forth with Expression. That'd be fun. That would be cool. Be good. Him being a Spurs fan, having a Jamaican background, brother. Oh, you made that work. Anyways, that would be crazy. And his brother Rats. Those are the only people that I haven't had the actual interaction with. But I'm sitting down, I'm like, when you come onto this, I don't know if I'm blessed, which I like to think I am, but definitely from someone who just here watching, bro, just taking in football content to meeting some of the biggest players in the game, it's very humbling and refreshing at times to know, say, yo, if you really work hard for something and go about things the right way, you can actually achieve what you go out for. Because I never, apart from yours, because you cannot have a Yardman show, bro, that's just impossible. But apart from here, I never really approached anyone and know like annoying thing is just picking your brain and they wanted to give me the platform. So that being said, I started to do match reviews, right? Match reviews. And I had to learn a whole other craft in of itself because I like the more conversation side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But to kind of like spew out or give out what I just witnessed or from what I just watched from my point of view. Because I'm always going to go back to the analytics side of it, right? The tactical breakdown. To do that over the course of 15 minutes, it took a while getting used to, and then doing the editing after. It took some while to get used to, but that's another craft that I'm starting to hone. And then there was a period last year where I stopped because I didn't realize that consistency in terms of that is one of the biggest things. Because I found myself repeating myself because we were so bad. During that whole period, we didn't win a game for months, bro. At one point, I'm like, I'm not doing this no more, bro. And I really stopped.
Yeah.
Bro. We lost to Everton, lost to Fulham, and then it was lost. So I kind of kept that. Felt like I was repeating myself. Before we got there, just before Marshall, do not kill me. Before we got there, right? Shout out to Casual FC and Marshall.
FC every time.
I remember during my debut run, I got an email from Marshall saying, "Oh, I'd love to have you on the show. I'd love to do big up Asian Pops."
Big up Asian Pops every single time. So Marshall's reached out to you, and was you watching Marshall and Casual FC before he had reached out to you? Or was you? Did you not know about the channel like that? So you'd watch before?
Yeah. I was interested in a lot of content, so I watched a few, but I wasn't religiously watching. He said I would like to have you on, and I guess
me.
guest.
yourself.
Brother, top 10 line. everybody I lie to me, dog. I lie everybody I tell. All wrong to you. You won't guess like me, people. I see the truth. You know, so like I tell. Man said, no. I want to have you on the channel. I would like to. And I'm like, I'm very skeptical. So I'm like, listen, shoot me the link. I'll make myself free. I'll hop on. We go on there, and Marshall is doing the intro, and he's like, this is how y'all view me? Stop lying. Right? So he's doing the intro, and he's like one of the more balanced people. Because again, Chelsea was in somewhat of a turmoil because this is the season this was Mariska. So this was while everything is running. Before we kind of turn the corners, and I was like, hey, people, not everything is bad when I'm having the discussion on all can eat Chelsea. So he brought me in on the show, and we had like something that we're having now, but he wanted to ask me. The show was more geared around how do I stay positive? Because remember, this was a time where people wanted to do protest. This is a time where people are saying, oh man, Mariska is garbage and whatnot. And I'm like, hey, and I don't see it that way. And we had a whole hour show, and then chemistry and Marshall just kick off. And then I spoke to Robert from Playback, and that's kind of where the sideline view, the show sideline view started from my channel. Because those two are available. Those two like the football talk. So we're just talking football, and that's how that got started. So met Marshall through this whole content creation thing as well. Fast forward to this season, and I don't know. Things just happen, right? So and man show cool. We are doing things. We are enjoy. I'm because I understand the game now. So we're there after every match review. We're back in Champions League. Every major thing we're doing. I'm talking to Matisse. Matisse is giving me advice. The boys are giving me advice. We're going, right? I got a message from Kat from on Instagram. I think he said it a few days, but I don't use Instagram. I don't use my podcast Instagram like that. So I'm only talking to like the people that I knew from Payback on there. So I saw that Kat reached out. Kat reached out and say, yo, he thinks I'm cold. He wants to have me on. But I stop lying to me. Yo, lie them I tell. Flawless. You know, so them people, one thing I realize is people like to tell me lies, bro. Tell me lies. So Kat reached out and man said like, yo, can I have your number? I'm like, yo, just keep it here because I don't know how the show is gonna go, and I don't like to give up the number to multiple people. Kat reached out, so we go up on the catch up. I met him, SB, Dreadman, not D-Man, because people KJ and the mans. And when I tell you that show, bro, show was fine. That show was cold. Low jokes, low not. Then that transition, Hussam wanted to have me on his channel, featured on Hussam channel first. So cool. This was right after we lost to Manchester United. Why everybody wants to attack me after, bro? So I'm trying to be Lavia in this Chelsea team. I'm trying to be press resistant. I'm trying to. So that whole week while I'm meeting new people, while I'm on Hussam, I'm on Judge Mo. I'm on Never a Fall. I'm on
skipping over that. So Hassam's reached out to you, Judge Mo's reached out to you, Never a Fall's reached out to you. So this is going at a quick rate in regards to channels reaching out to you. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, so because Catch rated me so highly, God knows I don't know why, he got me on Never a Fall.
Service, man. You're a very, very good content creator. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, so he got me on Never a Fall. But once I got to Never a Fall, that Liverpool cooking, bro, I took over. Because I was in the trenches, bro. I took over and kind of ratings from there. So, and then Judge Mo reached out, I think because I was and he reached out twice. So, when he look on the last comment.
Yeah, I see the last comment. Yeah, I see the last comment. Yeah, you're right, Lex, man. You're right. Don't do yourself a disservice, Devon, man. There's a reason. Look, as you're telling your story, the amount of content creators who you've watched who reached out to you. It's a reason for that. They can reach out to anyone, whether it's Matisse, Younes, Lewis. You mentioned Never a Foul. You mentioned Cass, Hassam. The list goes on. Type of thing. There's a reason for that. Reason I bring you on here. Reason for that. Because look at Lex now. Lex and Connect didn't like you. They would have said, yeah, don't bring them. You know them man well enough to know what they're like. If I bring someone, imagine that I bring someone on that don't work.
They run them.
Imagine what the group chat will be like if that
Mhm.
happens. 110%. But before we continue, people, just gonna take a quick pause for the cause. Run up the likes on the video. You're clearly here enjoying Javon's story. This is what these next up specials are all about, people. I'm giving him his flowers whilst he's still here as well to smell him. Run up the likes, hit the subscribe button, and just as more importantly, subscribe to the Final Whistle podcast. The link is in the title, people. Links in the title, links underneath in the description as well. It's on the featured channel page, or you can just go to the YouTube search bar and type in the Final Whistle podcast and find Javon's content there on all his socials as well. So go on, carry on, say what you were saying. Because man said never a foul. I said Hassam, Judge Mo. Go on.
Yeah, so after luckily, so I was kind of trying to be press resistant, but at the same time being fair, because you know me, I'm going to call a spade, right? I'm not going to, because you know what that Manchester United rivalry is like, and to lose in that manner.
What game was it? Wait, what game was it? When did we beat you? Which one was it? Obviously, you don't do terrible at OT, so what was it?
This one this year, bro. The one there,
oh, the one this year that's just got. All right,
yes.
Okay, this is recent. I thought this was like last season or so. I didn't realize this was so recent, yo. It's just like 2 games ago. Go on.
I hate you. But anyways, so this I was trying to be press resistant that week, and I was trying to be fair. And anytime I saw someone would go over the top, I'm kind of defending it. But Mariska, hey, that United game, there was no defense coming out of me with that one. You know, I even said Mariska out at one point. I was lost. I lost. I was very reactionary. So with that being said, I remember I went on Hussam's channel. It was a very good show. And I went on Judge Mo. I got invited back on Judge Mo's channel after the Liverpool. So it's crazy because it went from me being kind of the Chelsea fan that's available after the United loss to be the Chelsea fan. Who's ready, you know? Because that show, my debut and Never a Foul. My debut and Never a Foul was when I told you I had jokes for days. I was cooking these Liverpool lot. And then we had this show, and then I was up over and Judge Mo. And then it's just been a journey ever since. So now I'm at the point where I'm just focusing on keep doing these match reviews, even though I have to repeat myself sometimes. Yeah, and even this year, because when I started to do match reviews this year, we didn't win a game. The first game we won was actually against Benfica, and then the second one was against Liverpool. So every match review has been a loss or a draw. So I saw someone in the chat ask me what my favorite manager was.
Any questions that we missed, yeah? I'm just, you know what I'm saying? You telling your story, so I don't want to interrupt too much. So, Javon, who's your all-time favorite Chelsea player and manager?
Wait, I'm gonna be real. Manager is always gonna be the great one, the special one.
Yeah,
you know,
has to be Mourinho for you. Yeah, that makes sense.
The charisma that he came and took over the club with was next level. The banter, how he would control the press, how he would shamelessly lock out a 1-0 from halftime and you couldn't score.
Facts.
Amazing. And one of the main reasons why he's one of my favorite managers for Chelsea, he's the favorite manager for Chelsea, simply because he taught me that football can be played in various ways. And football might not be the most beautiful, but whatever works, consistency, longevity-wise. What do I mean by that? Mourinho didn't play quote-unquote necessarily the most beautiful football. Everybody else, apart from Chelsea fans, hated when you saw Ramirez warming up to come on, because you know the game's over.
Yeah. That was a lot. When you see John Obi Mikel, you know what the instruction is.
Yeah, man. Game done, right? But it taught me that football is however you interpret it. And again, I don't know if anyone saw the Pep Guardiola documentary or even the Jose Mourinho documentary. He was supposed to take over at Barcelona instead of Pep. But because they wanted to go with Pep's style of play, that's why he didn't that's why Jose Mourinho didn't get to take over Barcelona, because they both came from the same coaching academy. They both play for Barcelona. And this is why Mourinho went to Real Madrid, which is why you had that big rivalry between Real Madrid and Barcelona, right? Because of the whole, people thought it was just like El Clasico. No, there was internal animosity, because Mourinho was supposed to get that job, and everyone internally said that Mourinho never played like that. It was just a drastic switch. So he taught me that the game is how you interpret it and whatever you can make sure you do to make sure your team wins. Because at times he did play beautiful counter-attacking football, in my opinion. Because there's nothing more beautiful to me than a ball over the top to beat the person. There's one man running in behind. Because what are you gonna do to stop that? You try to foul him, chips you, it's a goal. You take him out, it's a penalty. What are you gonna do to stop that? You know. So that's why my favorite player is for Chelsea will always be Oscar Mbaba. So much potential, bro. He left early. So much
Oscar's
potential.
Okay, Oscar, your favorite all time. Okay, you say you mentioned it earlier, so it makes sense actually.
Yeah. If I had to go with someone who actually played longer at the club, probably Drogba or Lampard. You know, from the FIFA games, definitely Lamps, because he bailed me out of so much FIFA games, bro. So much money on the line, so much lunch money on the line. He bailed me out. But yeah, in terms of player wise, quality wise, Oscar when he was coming up, he was my favorite. I was actually a fan of Willian, believe it or not.
Okay.
The
Brazilian link. Is that a Brillian? Is that you slide by because he's Brazilian?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes and no, because I wasn't that big of a fan of David Luiz, because I think he couldn't defend for shit. But that's my opinion. I was also a fan, definitely, obviously Hazard, but those are just the common names: Hazard, and Cesc, and Matic. Matic out. I love Matic, but again, I like midfielders. Love midfield play. But Matic, cold. Matic was cold, in my opinion. Kante, of course, and Mason Mount. You know, played a big role.
Yeah, that's a wild one, man. Mason Mount. Yeah,
I was a fan of Mason Mount while he was here.
You say, I suppose he helped you lot reach success. He did. But go on, carry on.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Everybody else, you know, I'm a fan of the entire club. Fan of everything that everyone knows. But those are some players that, if you had caught me at that time, might have caught me with a Mason Mount shirt before I burnt it. You know, before I burnt it. You know, and I United him go to brother on damn shit.
Take him back. Carry on. You got carry on. 1 second.
No. He could over there. You know, so Mason Mount was so when it comes on to Chelsea, the connection was brought through from Oscar Mbaba, and then Hazard carried on. You know, the biggest issue I had with Chelsea is that they didn't sign a striker of note after Diego Costa. Yes, Morata came in and did their thing, but no, Morata was not. If it wasn't for Azpilicueta, Morata would be worse than what he is now, and that is bad, right? And after Morata, we saw Lukaku. We all know what Lukaku did, and then we struggled with Jackson for years. So the fact that we didn't get a replacement striker drives me bonkers. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's fair. Okay. Is there anything, like, because you've mentioned it a lot, like the names you've listed off and the channels you've been on, and I think that's testament to you, because you was smart enough and didn't have ego to realize being on. You mentioned about, I'm the janitor in the place. I'm just happy to be on here. And how did your confidence grow from being on Matisse's channel and, like you said, hiding behind the microphone to now just being super comfortable to say whatever you want to say on there? Where was the change? What was the switch? Was it a couple comments? Was it going back and forth with someone to the point you was like, all right, let's do this?
Honestly, it was more so a personal thing in life. Understanding you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't type thing. Because I'm doing it multiple times, doing your own content, seeing you're not getting that much of amount of views, but people still enjoy the content. People what started to do it for me, really, was the comments or the direct messages that I would get on
Okay.
Instagram, on Twitter. People saying, "Yo, bro, like the content." People are saying, "Whenever you start going live, I want to be one of the members. I want to be a mod. Yo, get me on the show. I love this and I'm like,
A liar.
liar, tell me, isn't it? Liar, tell me, isn't it? So that helped, and then realize that some people are here for trolls. Some people are just viewing the game totally different than I'm viewing it, and I am not God in this whole. Oh, you have to view it how I view it. It's more so. It's very subjective, but some truths are true, And just being around the guys, being around people like you, seeing how you guys are like ingesting more content,
Yeah.
So that's how I got comfortable.
Okay, that's fair enough. And is there anyone in particular, like, because you mentioned it about like when Matisse reached out to you, or like for All You Could Eat, you was like, "Yo, liar, I tell." Like, is there anyone you met in the space, or anyone you was on stream with that you was like, "Whoa," or a content creator who knew you and you was like, "Right, I didn't even realize you knew me," or it was in your chat, or they commented, or something on socials, anything like that?
I met two people that I didn't mention.
Go
I
on, talk
met
about it.
I met Saeed and a
Yeah.
Manchester United versus Chelsea preview, and I was going mad. I don't know what impression he has of me. He might think, "Oh, this guy just see it." No, Saeed, if you're seeing this, I just hate your club. I hate your club. That's it. Nothing personal. And I met Lee Judges. That was cool. Meet Lee Judges. That was cool.
Yeah, Lee Judge is mad cool.
Yeah,
Really cool.
meet Lee Judges. That was really cool. I met Dan Potts.
Mm.
No, no, for it. Yo, it just yeah. I met Dan Potts. I met another guy from that does the Chelsea shows outside the bridge. He wanted me to come on the show at times, and I'm like,
Oh, you mean he does the fan cams you're talking about?
yeah.
Talking
I
about
forgot
Alex.
his name. Yeah, Alex.
Alex,
Yes.
yeah, Alex a cool brother as well, man. Alex a cool brother. Yeah, shout out to Alex.
I met a few people. Well, I don't know if there's anyone that I've been on the show with, or if I'm not recalling that I just been on the show. I'm like, yo, Jabba, big up. You know me. No, I don't think I've had that yet. And if I have, please forgive me. I'm just not remembering right now. But yeah. The craziest thing happened though.
Go on.
The craziest thing. So I'm at the gym one day, right? We I get to it, we put this work in, boy. And this dude came over to me and like yelling, right? He's yelling and he's like, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" Me? I'm not paying him. No, I'm wrong. So I say, wait, hold up. I actually do YouTube, but there's a slight chance, a small possibility that you may have seen me. So I'm like, oh yeah. I do. You can a bit of content creation here and there. I'm all on You Can Eat Chelsea. He's like, oh yo, I do know you. You're on Matisse's channel, right? I'm like, yeah. Yo, what's up, brother? He's one of my closest friends now. Crazy. Crazy. Because I didn't know he was Trinidadian at the time. His accent started to come on. He's like, you're the Jamaican, right? Yeah, man. And then ever since then, I've been dogs right now. Yeah. So that was a cool moment. Someone knowing me. And I'm just a regular guy. Go about my business, do what I gotta do. Crazy. That was one of the craziest moments, for sure.
And is there any other time you've been recognized like that, like out in public, where people been like, "Oh, Javon, find a whistle," or "Oh, you can eat," or you've been on Lewis's channel or whatever else?
Yeah, that maybe because maybe because I've been speaking to people, but they didn't approach me. Like, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, yeah, probably from the gym. But when they started talking about football, I'm like, that's where you know me from. So that's definitely surreal. Some of the things that working in this content creation space. I don't know if you know this channel, but there's a channel called Five Aside. Shout out to they're New York based and they talk about football. Their channel just debuted on Being Sports.
Okay, shit, that's a big look.
Yeah, right. Shout out to my boy Josh. He said to me when I was going through the whole my co-host being a bit inconsistent. He said to me, you have to believe in the dream and you have to be delusional. Sometimes borderline delusional or delusional to see the dream because no one else is gonna see the dream like or you see the dream. I'm like, you know what? Respect you. I look where I am now. I mean, I'm not anywhere yet, but I met some
Nah,
really
but
cool
you've
people in
made
this space.
massive steps. Look at the list of channels you've been on, and look at the people that you've worked with. Once you start working with people you're fans of and watch, that's when you know. You mentioned it before, blessed. Once there's people that's like, oh, yo, that's why you keep saying lie you tell. These are people you've watched, channels you've watched. So that is a blessing. That is steps because there's so many people who would want to go on those channels and can't or have been unable to so far.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. What can I say, man? I am blessed and I'm just enjoying the journey right now.
It seems you are. And in regards to that, Final Whistle podcast, what's that been like with the growth? So from going from audio only up until now. Oh, good, man. No stress, people. We'll get back to Javon in a second. Run up the likes, though. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Sarcasm City TV. Next up special with Javon. Make sure you subscribe to the Final Whistle podcast. Again, subscribe to the Final Whistle podcast. I'll say it for a third time. Subscribe to the Final Whistle podcast. Link is in the pinned comment, people. Also underneath in the description as well. So yeah, the Final Whistle podcast. What's the growth been like there? Because not only now have you been working on, like you said, people's channels who you're fans of and working with content creators you're fans of. What's it been like seeing the growth of your channel and being able to reach out to them to get them on your channel as well? What's that been like as well? Is there a certain person you had on your channel and you're like, whoa, I got such and such on? Or they was like, yeah, cool, I'll do it. Or a certain comment you see, or a certain amount of numbers or growth or a certain live stream that banged, etc.
Yeah. So I'm yet to do live yet, and that's my next milestone to just
recorded videos,
start,
I should say.
Yeah. Start doing lives. But I remember, so obviously I did the Chelsea boys first because we were doing the one-on-one, and I'm a great interviewer, not necessarily the best interviewee, because I had you on.
Super entertaining. You super entertaining as interviewee. Yeah, trust me. Trust me.
So I'm doing the show, right? And this is not disrespect to Matisse, but I had Matisse on, and because of the time I spent talking to him, like playback, I felt like he was more so a friend, not necessarily Matisse, who Matisse is. You get what I'm saying? I see him like, yo, I'm a brother that dog. I'm a virgin.
Yeah. Matisse, 100%. Yeah.
You understand? And I remember even to this day, my regular friends, yo, dog, tell Matisse, oh, he's one of the best Chelsea content creator, Arsenal fans, you know. And yo, am I the best Chelsea content creator, bro? Because he's always balanced and fair. Even if he hates Arsenal, he's still balanced and fair. I'm saying, yo, brother, I love man. Yeah, press text, tell him man this far. You see me? So, but I relay the message, of course. So for me, Matisse is just, I'm a dog that. But I remember the first time I had Younes on, and Younes telling me his journey and he got a manager sacked and do all that. He got AVB sacked. Shout out to Younes, right? And I'm like, wow, I'm really talking to Younes, right? That took that video I put out, one of my highest rated videos. And then I got Miss on. Miss one of my highest rated videos, but these are not people that I'm close with at the time. I was close with Matisse because again, Matisse I just my dogs. You understand?
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what it felt like because I did talking to Matisse before. When I got Baba on, right? I didn't know Baba's journey. I didn't know our journey was so similar, but I didn't really know much about him and how he got there. The conversation with Baba was great, but to this day, he was I think he's one of the most views I've gotten on my channel when we did the one-on-one with Baba for Chelsea. And then when I got Goonie on, the whole different chemistry, bro. Me and Goonie, before the show, me and Goonie chat foolishness. After the show, me and Goonie chat foolishness, right? Me and Goonie just chop it up. Goonie have dogs with the multiple shows together. And yeah, Goonie, me can't say for sure. I'm a dogs that. You understand? So having these people on my channel definitely boosted my channel. Having reoccurring subscribers, that's just honestly, I think that just come from me. It's from me being me. You understand? And it's the same thing with even when you came on. Manchester United fans subscribe to my channel, you know, because the whole back and forth. Because remember when I was doing the interview with you, we did the preview as well, and it's just surreal having multiple people on the channel and helping the channel grow. Now, most are just trying to be consistent, and I'm trying to do a few lives. But the people really like the sideline view. That's the Chelsea show on my channel.
I think you should do both. Like we discussed this, though. I think you should continue with the pre-records because people like that, but definitely go live. 100%, you should go live. You see how you're received in the chat when you're live. So whether that's here, whether that's All You Can Eat Chelsea, Lewis's channel, never wherever you're at, 110%. Like I think you should, without question, go live. So with the final whistle, actually, before we go to final whistle podcast, we'll go with that first. Actually, that question. Short-term, medium-term, long-term goals with the final whistle podcast. Like, what is it for you? What are you looking to do, say, for the rest of this year? Obviously, we're now middle of October, then 2026, and then beyond that. What's the goals for you? What's the aim?
Short-term, I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers, maybe 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year, if possible. Definitely want to push out some more content, match reviews and stuff. But more so to go live to see how the people receive me. Whether I get the views or I get the views or the comments or what, I just definitely want to go live with the boys. Bring one of those shows that I have from my channel live. Maybe go live by myself just to interact with the people and just to talk about certain content in the Chelsea space. Long term, I'm trying to be a Talk Sports. I'm trying to be one of those. I'm trying to be like Months. You know, I'm trying to be like Ahmed. You know, no,
you put Sky Sports and them things there. I see it.
ESPN FC. Hello, I don't wear this do-rag when I go in office. You know, this real well fit man. No, but for real, I again believe in the delusion until it comes true. Until it's not a delusion anymore. I don't know. I want to take my channel to the next level, take my brand to the next level. You know, be on these football talk shows, to be whether a Chelsea representative or just talk about football in general. I could see myself maybe on CBS Sports long term. You know?
Definitely.
You know,
you could be on a big on a mainstream platform, I should say. That's what I call it, without question.
Yeah, but for now, as for my channel, I just want to grow my channel. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's respectable. Still leave a like and a subscribe. You don't have to watch. You can like and subscribe.
I like, subscribe. I want to boost them watch hours as well. And you've kind of already answered my next question a little bit, but outside of the Final Whistle podcast, even though it's linked in, you as an individual, Brandon, you as a content creator, what is your short-term, medium-term, and then longer-term goals?
I would love for this to be a career. Not necessarily what I'm doing now, but to have my passion and my love for football be a career. It's not my career, people. I eat, you know, somewhat of a nerd. But yeah, if I could make a full living and full, you know, out of this, I would love it because I love football. Football is life. Football is passion. You know, and maybe be on one of these mainstream shows. Maybe step in one or two times, short term, maybe step in one or two times on the back again show if Lewis is out. I don't know, maybe just put that out there. You know, maybe travel to England and be on DR Sports. You never know, Robbie, Wagwan, you know, the way they. So yeah, you know, but yeah, just to grow, keep on talking about football with it goes to the best it can go to, or even if it remains the same. Football is football. I'm never gonna not love the sport. I may fall out of love with it sometime because Chelsea want to do some nonsense, but I'll never not love the sport. And not want to do something in the space. Because I wanted to play professionally. That ship sailed. So the most can't talk about it.
We all did. I think everyone in this base did, myself included. I think we was all there.
Me. So I coach, stop coaching. I'm taking the season off. So it's all football, all podcast, everything I know from a Chelsea perspective. I would love to expand to, you know, Champions League football, general football, talking about other teams, because those things intrigue me. And whether it's from an operational standpoint or from tactical standpoint, what we see on the pitch. But I'd love anything football, honestly.
I love that for real. And is there anything any stories or anything you want to tell, any interesting things that have happened in your journey so far that you haven't mentioned because it's not aligned with one of the stories? But is there anything there that you point to and you go, I remember that stream on such and such, or this happened with such and such, or these two content creators on stream going back and forth on the stream was almost. hilarious. I remember it vividly. Anything like that?
No, I think I pretty much covered everything because I'm not remembering because I know I've been on some crazy streams, especially on the Yardman show. It was just a laugh, but we can't remember right now, brother. You know, can't remember right now.
Now that's why I have to just ask just in case, because there could be a story or stories that happened that didn't align with actually any of the stories you told, and you're like, oh, I remember when such and such happened. Especially because you've been on a lot of channels, worked with a lot of people.
I remember this wasn't necessarily a stream story, but I remember that World Cup final, Argentina versus France, and someone and I was going back and forth with the whole football thing, right? And I said, listen, I'm not gonna argue with someone that don't know football. I have a podcast for a reason. And like two of our other bridges like, yo, his podcast is cool. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. You lost this argument. And then in the final, because I was saying Mbappe was gonna show up and show whether you like it or not. He's just an undeniable talent with a goal and assist. That man's gonna hat trick in the final, bro. Messi still won the World Cup, but the whole point was Mbappe going to do anything versus was he not? And I was right. So that kind of meant something because I was like, oh yeah, I actually do have a podcast. I know what I'm talking about. These people rate me. These people respect me. What do you know? That type of thing. You know, I have, bucketive, if that makes sense. I have proof that I actually, because I'm gonna be real. I'll be forgetting sometimes because I see myself as just a regular guy. Talk about football, upload. We go home. I make jokes here and there.
You make a lot of jokes. You know what I'm saying? You got jokes a lot of time. This guy, you make a lot of jokes. A hell of a lot of jokes.
Yeah, it's a bit, but a few jokes here and there, football talk here and there, and I go home. It's nothing. I don't see myself as no celebrity. I don't see myself as oh, that's Javon from the fan. Respect, nah, bro. We talk about football. Guess it. I still don't talk about football with anyone.
As you can see that, you seems you're not phased by that, but people do see you as, oh, that's Javon Final Whistle podcast. That's Javon on All You Can Eat Chelsea, for example. So I think you don't give yourself enough credit. I don't think you for what you've done in the space in a very, very short space of time. Because look how recently you're talking about things, and this is only in the span of 2-3 years. So you gotta give plaudits and give full credit to it.
I will tell you one thing though. When we had that crossover show with the Arsenal fan, to hear him say, I don't know, Lex and Kenneth are gonna take the piss because this is what they do. But to hear him actually take a breath and give me a shout out there, live there to say, hey, I never ingested your content prior to this. But to hear how you speak with such balance and in such a logical manner, I'm a fan of you and I'm going to subscribe. And I'm like, wow, I'm going to subscribe.
Talking about TJ, right? Yeah. Shout out TJ. Or TJ, you said that, yeah. And that's a good credit to you as a content creator. People don't bring you on or give you compliments if you're not good at what you do. Because there's so many people in this space and it's stacked. Chelsea in particular as well. So to stand out, you have to have some form of talent and the skills and have a multifaceted skill set as well.
Well, we just there to talk about football and run a couple jokes, you know? And hate on Manchester United passion.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you really do. But hey, in regards to the special, great finding out about your journey as well. Any final words that you want to add?
Yes, people, like, share, comment, subscribe to the Sarcasm City channel. Burn that! Come over to my channel. Burn up this. I'm playing. It's like some scared to it. Like, comment, subscribe to the Sarcasm City TV. Flawless. Literally the hardest man working on YouTube. I don't know how you do it. 3 o'clock, this man up. I do something, brother, got your bed. Go to sleep. You know?
Work to do, man. Go get to work.
You gotta put in that work, bro. But respect to your work ethic. I'm starting to take a little bit of your work ethic, apply to my thing.
Love that.
And yeah, people, just hop over to the Fun House podcast. A rebranding might be coming soon. So look out for that.
Because remember at the start about the Final Whistle podcast. That's why I like doing these, how things come full circle.
Bro. Yes. Bro, now I can comfortably say if you type in the Final Whistle podcast, I'm going to be the first to come up because we work hard for that. But before, it's a lot to find my channel. So, but I want to do a whole rebranding thing and
First.
whatnot. So that's coming soon. But people up over everything Chelsea, trying to expand into more general football, but everything Chelsea first, and then we take it from there.
Love that, man. For true, hey, Javon, this has been great. I already knew the special was gonna be good with you. I already knew what it was gonna be. I knew you're an interesting character enough to know your backstory is gonna be interesting. We're gonna find out new things as well, and your thoughts behind things going on, because it's always now in this content creator space. Like, we're focused on the result that happened. This manager's under pressure. This manager's doing well. What's your team gonna win? Your team's performing poorly. And then the next day, it's on from that. We don't really look back at all the work and the live streams and the pre-records and everything we've been doing in the conversations, because it's just now. It's the next day, and so forth and so forth. So that's what this is for. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna look back as you continue to elevate in this space. We're gonna look back on this in 3, 4 years, 5 years, and do another one. You know what I'm saying? And then talk about obviously this stuff again, but then all the new stuff that happened as well. I love that, for true.
Hopefully, Manchester United will still be in the mud.
Hopefully not. That's the only thing I don't hope for. You know what I'm saying?
No. I hate on this. I hate on them a lot. But what's the better way to win a competition than when your competition is actually competitive? You know, I always say that's the best way to win. When you know someone's actually trying, when you know someone's actually good, and you're just a better team over the course of 38 games. Manchester United was bastard.
Exactly what you're saying. But yeah, find one final thing. Tell them again about the Final Whistle podcast, what you have coming up for the season. You know what I'm saying? For the season. What's the plans for the season?
First live coming soon. Sideline view, some Champions League show, match reviews, and just keep putting in the work. Maybe a little FIFA, cause some man run off them mouth, but them a big FIFA got legs. I chat off him mouth, so we're going to kick in a boy face FIFA-wise. And yeah, we're going to run it.
Yeah, as soon as you get it, I bring you in the Pro Clubs team 110%. You know what I'm saying? We'll have to run 2 teams. That's what it is, because there's so many players. So definitely, again, Final Whistle podcast people, please make sure you subscribe. Final Whistle podcast, links in the title. Hit the subscribe button here on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube as well. Big up Zay for the raid as well. Big up Zay for the raid. Big up everyone in the chat. We are going to be redirecting over to another special, people. We are going to be redirecting over to another special. Yes, Lex, I got the PS5. Yes. We're going to be redirecting over to another live stream. Next up special with my boy Sheik. So he'll be on. I'm running these next up specials all week long till Friday, people. So Double A did the first one on Saturday. Steve did one yesterday. You're getting 2 tonight, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're gonna get 2 live streams as well with these next special. Lex, I literally just said I'm gonna create 2 teams because there's too many players. I got too many players.
It's very easy, though.
Yeah, I got too many players. Yes, YG. This is what I'm saying, man. Flawless could make a draft with the play. There's too many. That's why I created 2 teams. Like Sarcasm City G is there. I've already created 2 teams. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Hey, you like YG hates you, man. Shut up. How about that? Shut up. But yeah, I'm waiting on Javon to get the game and others as well. But nah, Javon, blessings, man. Big up for doing this.
Always a pleasure, bro. Always a pleasure. I don't know about the word.
Was gonna go. Yeah, same with Zay. Zay's another one as well. Zay, I'm gonna shout you as well. I'm just gonna I'm putting all the content creators in one team. That's what I'm gonna do. So yourself, Lex, Zay, Jacob, all those type of things. But yeah. But here we are. Hey, Lex, was you going to pay for the PS5 for me? No. It's all right then. But yes, people, we going to close out anyway. Yeah, Fraxio, like, you was going to pay for the PS5 for me. This is crazy. I had other priorities and shit to get. But I got the P5. Oh, how about this, Lex? Start your own team. How about that? You could have done that. You know what I'm saying? You could have done that. Man, always waiting on me. You could have done that easy. You could have shouted Javon and others. But anyways, people, we're closing out, redirecting over to the special with Sheik, but this has been the next up special with special guest Javon. Final Whistle podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you lot in literally a couple minutes. Big up.